much. Joining me now, Bob Shrum, the Democratic strategist and a professor at NYU. He just wrote a column for The Week called Romney on the Precipice. And Chip Saltzman, a Republican strategist who was Mike Huckabee's campaign manager in 2008. Thanks for being here tonight.
Good to be with you.
Bob, let me ask you, how much is this anyone but Romney primary hurting the whole overall GOP race?
I don't know if it's hurting the overall GOP race. I think it's hurting Romney a lot. I mean, we've seen over a period of time, a remarkable revelation of character and record and a self-immolation of gaffes like severely conservative. It may be that he's too severely phony to win a nomination early or to win a nomination ultimately at all. People think that he's out of touch, that he's untrustworthy. This is a guy who abandons issues of conscience, throws them away like a pair of old sneakers so he can run in the opposite direction. And I'm not here to defend Rick Santorum, but I'll say this. The fact that he's 10 points behind and Romney's 8 points behind, people know a lot about Romney. They don't know a lot about Santorum yet. And so I wouldn't render a final judgment on him. Look, Romney's upside down in his favorable unfavorables with independents. He's 44-43 in the PPP poll with Republicans, and he's now behind, according to PPP, by 15 points in Michigan. If that happens, this race is thrown up in the air.
Now, let me ask you, Chip, I mean, how do you get around what even David Brooks says in the New York Times, who I consider conservative, that even if Romney gets through all of this with Santorum, that the nomination may be worthless because of the damage being done in the process of him trying to win?
Well, and we always have this in very tough primaries that we say, oh, woe is me, this tough primary is hurting the party, it's going to destroy the nominee. We thought that 4 years ago when Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton were clubbing each other. We thought that was great. That didn't turn out to be so good for us. And even go back to 2004 in a tough primary for the Democrats, so while we had the Republican president, that tended to be good for us. So you never know what's going to happen. This one thing we found out for sure this cycle is these polls change not just day to day, week to week, month to month. Who's up, who's down, you never know. Probably the one person not sitting out there is John Huntsman, who didn't. He's the only one that didn't get to lead the polls. And so this is the time for Rick Santorum to make something out of it. But I think at the end of the day, a tough primary makes you stronger. Is it pretty? No. Is it fun for us? No. But this is how we choose a nominee. And ultimately, the winner will be stronger for our party.
Yeah, but let me show you this. 50% say he is not a strong conservative. 48% says he doesn't take consistent positions. Bob, you were involved in 2004. I ran in 2004.
I remember.
We were not in a tough primary where people didn't believe that whatever we were saying we didn't really believe, or that we weren't Democrat enough. There were differences maybe on the wall. There were differences on who could get votes. You're talking about people don't trust Romney as a person, that he doesn't really say what he means and mean what he says. That's different. 2008, Obama and Hillary weren't arguing about whether they were authentic. They were arguing policy, not integrity.
Look, the biggest difference, and this is where I disagree with Chip, between 2008 and now, is in 2008 the process went on and on and on because Democrats liked both candidates. They wanted to nominate both candidates. In 2012, Republicans seem to want to nominate none of these candidates. They're supposed to nominate Mitt Romney. He's the choice of the establishment. He's the next guy in line. He's raised such fundamental questions about his character that Republicans are pulling back from him. So in Michigan, what he's going to have to do is channel Santorum on social issues, smear Santorum, which I'm not sure will work, it could backfire, and hope that the suburban vote thinks that he doesn't really mean what he says. That's a tough combination to pull off.
Well, let me give you an even tougher one, Chip. When you look at what is happening to independents, because you can't win a general election without independents. November, President Obama was 41% to Mitt Romney's 53%. Now, President Obama's 51% to Willard, Mitt Romney's 42%. That's not bad enough news for you. 41% of Republicans say they want another candidate. 25% of conservatives not excited about voting in November. If you've got that level of non-enthusiasm, lack of enthusiasm, and independents now turning the other way on you, how do you paint that as a good picture?
Well, I think right now there's a lot of battle going on in our primary, and there's been millions of dollars spent against Mitt Romney that causes some of that. And once we get this nomination taken care of, whether it's Mitt Romney, Rick Santorum, whoever, we'll right that ship. And Reverend Sharpton, I'm getting the feeling that you may not like Mitt Romney a little bit, which is too bad because I think you may be on a short list for VP. But you should say some nice things about him occasionally.
If I really wanted to hurt Mitt Romney, I would release that you just said that I was on the short list. That would finish him off with all of the right-wing Republicans.
I think you could kind of add a little awesomeness to his campaign.
I'm sure I'm on his short list,
I'll tell you what you would add. You'd add some authenticity to his campaign. And I got to say, Chip is being a really good sport here.
Yeah.
Because in the last race, the role that Romney, by staying in, was to prevent Mike Huckabee from beating John McCain. He siphoned off just enough votes in South Carolina, just enough votes in Florida, that the nomination settled on McCain. That's the role Newt Gingrich has right now. If I were the Romney campaign... If I were the Romney campaign, I might tell Sheldon Adelson, the casino magnate in Las Vegas, keep giving Newt money, because whatever bad he says about Romney, he takes votes away from Santorum.
But, Chip, let me ask you, he did get the CPAC straw vote, which surprised some, at least in outside the Republican circles. But then Santorum and them tried to poo-poo that, saying he just stacked the room. Will the CPAC straw poll help him in some of the right-wing counties in Michigan and the states coming up? Is it meaningless? Is that just Washington?
No, it can't hurt. And look, we've all been involved in straw polls before. That's how you win a straw poll. You pack the room with your supporters, so they'll vote for you. That's how you do it. And so it shows that Mitt Romney's got an organization. He knows how to do that. Now, will it help in Michigan? It should help a little bit, but I think Romney's record and his family tradition in Michigan will help him more. Santorum's going to take it right to him in Michigan, which I think is a gutsy move. It could be a smart move, and talk about the issues that are important to him. And look, I think what Mitt Romney's real problem is right now is what you started the show off with, is he still hasn't told us who he is, what he believes, and why he's doing this. He talks his talking points. He gives his speech. He's severely conservative. I don't care about that. I want to know who this man is. He's got a great life story. He's raised a great family. He started a very successful business. He went into the Olympics, turned that around. He's done some good things. That's what he should be talking about, not about the talking points that he's been following in his speeches of late.
But Chip's telling us all these great things about Willard, but Willard's not telling us what makes us believe maybe it's not true.
Well, I don't think he can do his biography alone. I think he's got to get out there and say, here's what I stand for. One of his problems is that he was depending on the economy being in deeper and deeper trouble so he could be the CEO who could go fix it. If the economy's getting better and continues to get better, this isn't me, this is the Wall Street Journal editorial page saying Mitt Romney's got to go out there and tell people what he's about. We know what Santorum's about. This issue is moving to this campaign's moving to social issues, and I think that helps in the Republican primary, Rick Santorum.
Well, I asked Mitt Romney the one time I met him, what is he all about? He asked me, what time is it? Bob Shrum, Chip Saltzman, thanks for your time tonight.